Okay, now we're going to create some overlays or some effects using overlays. I'll open an image here, and this overlay in our new collection is probably my favorite overlay. We use our favorite new one anyway. We use this all the time. This is vGallery Overlay 8, and we just got it from a steel door in a warehouse. But it's really fantastic for some really cool effects. And what you do then is take your overlay layer and drag it over your image. And then you can see that you have your overlay on a separate layer. Now I'm going to hit Command or Control T so I can transform the overlay, because again the file of the overlay is much bigger than the file of the image, so that this goes faster. And I'll just transform it down, basically make it smaller so that it's a better size for the image, and hit Enter. Then it'll apply that transformation to the overlay. And now you can see that I have my image here with the overlay on top of it, and I can change in my layers palette from normal, the layer mode from normal to overlay, and you can see there it is. I'll use move so I can move it around. Use the move tool here. I can move the overlay wherever I want it, and I'll put it about right there. Now what I can do is add a layer mask to that overlay, and you can see I get my white layer mask. I can use a black brush on a white layer mask then to hide the overlay wherever I want to selectively. Well, in this case, I want to hide it as it sits over her, so I can basically bring her through by hiding the overlay. And because I'm using a layer mask, I can also, if I want to, maybe get rid of the window, or at least get rid of the overlay on the window. And the beauty is, let's say, I think, oh no, I want to cover that window back up. I just change my foreground color from black to white, and I can go back over that layer and bring the overlay back. So you can see, I mean, you can actually watch it happening up here in the layer mask. In any case, this is just an effect that you can use for any one of your images. You know, sometimes overlays, they don't work. Let's try another one and just see what happens. I'll bring this green marble floor up, and I'll bring it over and drag it on top, and we'll do a transform on that one too, because again it's much bigger, and it just doesn't need to be. You can also rotate when you're transforming like that and bring it over on top. Let's hit Enter, apply that transformation, and then again I'll go up into Overlay, and you know, you can decide whether or not that looks any better. It's starting to get pretty funky, but keep in mind you also have the ability to lower the opacity of these things, so maybe they're not quite as intense. Another cool thing that you can do is, since I used that layer mask on that girl right there, I can just apply that layer mask to this layer as well by dragging the layer mask down on top of the layer mask symbol, and now it's applied to both of them. You see I have an identical layer mask on both layers, and all I did was drag it from the other layer and drag it down on top of the layer mask symbol, and it applied it to my selected layer, so I don't have to go back in there and do it again. So basically what I've done is gone from here to here, and again, if it's too intense or too much, you can either hide different layers if you want to, or you can drop the opacities of them so that they're not quite as intense, whatever you want. Or you can actually go into the layer mask again, make sure your layer mask is selected with your black brush, and get rid of whatever you don't want to selectively. It's a wonderful thing to be able to have so much control over all these different layers and to create relationships between them by using overlays and layer masks on each independent layer.